We are out on the pitch with the managers and the players right in the thick of the action, or at least for the warm-up action. And that's our cameraman Kieran McMahon, who is out there capturing these lovely close-up shots. And they give you some sort of a feel of what it's like to be getting ready for an AIB Ulster Intermediate Championship final. You almost feel as if our cameraman's going to catch the ball there. Now he probably would drop it, but at least he's out there. He's not dropping the camera, that's the important thing. And he's watching the players warm up for the game, and that is Knockbride from Cavan, looking to make it 2 Cavan wins in 2 days. That is Brigid O'Neill's captain, Megan Miller, in the red. And she is, of course, from Monaghan, and that's why she's talking to Paul Swift there from Monaghan, and lots of Monaghan camera people in the shot there, as well as the officials having a bit of a laugh before the game, and that's good to see, nice and relaxed. Brigid O'Neill's from Monaghan, Knockbride from Cavan, the 2025 AIB Ulster Intermediate Championship final here. Well, it was sunny Brewster Park. It's not sunny now. The sun has just gone in, but never mind. At least it's dry. Sarah McCabe is the captain who has just joined us. She is the number 11. Her dad Terry is in the management. So both number 11s there, along with the referee Eddie Cuthbert. He's from County Down. Sarah, by the way, is a quality operations manager, so I wonder will she be bringing that into the game today. Will she have some quality play? I'm sure she will. Lovely shot there before the off the 2 captains there, and the Lidl sponsor on the left on the jerseys of the Brigid O'Neill's, which is an amalgamation. 3 clubs, used to be 2 clubs, Ballybay and Drumhowen. They've been joined by Duhamlet in the last couple of years, so 3 clubs together there from Monaghan, Ballybay, Drumhowen, Duhamlet in that area against Knockbride from Cavan. That's her wide shot, that's her tight shot. Eddie, the referee, with 4th official Philip Conway from Armagh, and on the lines Roseanne Haughey from Donegal, Anya Murphy from Fermanagh, and we are in Fermanagh, so lots of counties represented here. The referee having his word, and now he will toss, but there's no wind today at all. A little bit cool, but you'd expect for this time of year, and it looks like Megan has won the toss there, and I think she just said we'll just play the way we are, it makes no difference. Sun was out now, it would have made a difference a few hours before the game, so over to the left, but as I say, it's gone in. So that's Brigid O'Neill's getting ready for the start of the game over there. We're live on Ulster Ladies YouTube and on Ulster Ladies Facebook, so you have a choice of watching on either of those, and you can message me if you feel the urge before or during the game, and I'll pick up the messages on both of those areas, and you can let me know where you're watching the game from. And we already have been told we have visitors online from as far apart as Australia and the Canary Islands, and they're both connected to Knockbride players. So number 10 from Knockbride, Gia McCabe, her sister Janelle is in Australia. Hi to you. And she moved there this year. She'd been playing midfield for years for the team, so a real leader. And she went out to Australia. I'm sure she'd dearly love to be playing today, but wouldn't you know, the one year that you go away and they get to the final. But she will be with the team today in spirit. And the number 13 is Rebecca Davey. She's a younger sister of Lindsay Davey, who won 5 All-Irelands and 5 All-Stars with Dublin in a glittering career. And she will be watching from the Canary Islands, where she's on holidays. And she is from the Skerries Harps Club in Dublin, so a bit of support from abroad for both of those girls, and both down the right side of the Knockbride attack. I'm not sure if Lindsay had much success with Skerries at Leinster level, but certainly had success at other levels. But I'm sure Rebecca would like to say, well, I have a provincial medal, and she might get one today. And by the way, the All-Stars were last night in Dublin, the TG Cahir All-Stars, and Dublin won 7 there last night. Let's go to the teams then. Let's have a look at them. And first we'll go to Brigid O'Neill's. Andrea Lear in goals is the sister of Abby Lear at number 5, and there will be a pattern here. There's a lot of sisters. Mary Quinn at number 2. Her sisters are in the subs, Emer 19 and Ciara 21. That's their numbers in their jerseys, not their ages. 13, 18 Drury. Her sister Jean is at 15. Nuala McGurk at 4. Her sister Lorna is at 10. I told you. Albie Lear is at 5. Sive McIlerney is at 6. She has a brother Dara who'd be on the Monaghan senior panel. 7, Anola Roach-Smith. At midfield, Molly Keenan, very young player at number 8. 9, Olivia McSkeen. 10, Lorna McGurk. 11, the captain. 12, Erin Cassidy. 13, Tegan O'Neill, who's still under 16. 14, Michaela McCabe. And 15, Jean Drury. And in the subs, you've got a good bit of experience there. Rachel McNally would be the most mature player, shall we say. And then you have the likes of Julie McGurk / Duffy, who'd be in there as well. And they've a barista in there as well, Jodie Gagan as well. Right, let's go on and look at the other team. Let's look at the Knockbride then. In goals, you have Katie Mulvey. There's a familiar pattern here again. Grania Smith at number 2. Her sister Neve is at number 5. So the two Smith sisters across the defence. And is that Amy? Amy Lynch at 3 and Ellen Lynch at 5. They're sisters as well. And Nicola Rogers at 4 is a sister of Katie at 14. 6 is Sinead O'Reilly. At midfield, Tara Rogers is number 8. Katie May Riley is at 9, and we're back to the family connections here. Her sister Ellie is number 19 in the subs, and she's only 14 years old according to the programme. And her dad, their dad, Peter, is in the management team there. 10 is Gia McCabe, 11 Sarah McCabe, dad Terry in the management, 12 Aoife Nulty, 13 Rebecca Davey, 14 Katie Rogers, and 15 Abby Connor. And in the subs, they have a couple of 15-year-olds, Rebecca Clark and Aoife Rogers. But not, sadly, Abby Riley, the captain of the Cavan under-16s this year. Fabulous player, got injured, came back, got injured again. So, unfortunately, not involved today, but I'm sure she is in and around there. There's some nice shots of some young boys at the game over on the far side in the stand here in Brewster Park. A word for the managers, by the way, for Knockbride. We'll have Kieran Galligan. He's one of 10 listed as part of their management team there. That's what you get at club level now, even at intermediate sometimes. His daughter Leah is in the subs wearing number 22, and I'm told that the management has, and this is a phrase he used, stuck with them over the last 4 or 5 years. So Terry McCabe is in there, and Peter Riley, well, he's new this year to it. They were in Ulster about 12 years ago, a handful of the players still there from then. But last year they lost to Monaghan in the Cavan final, and Monaghan went on to win this title in very impressive style. But as they put it themselves, Sarah McCabe told me, the captain, they've learned a lot from watching Monaghan's journey through Ulster, and I think that translates as they were very jealous of what they saw and they were inspired by that and said, we want a bit of that. Sun is coming out, and again we're up nice and close to the huddles, both teams in huddles at the minute and getting ready for the anthem. Brigid O'Neill's management to mention then Brian McCabe, known as Barney, along with Jerry West, who would have managed teams actually that Brian would have played in before. Roy Rutledge as well, and all those lads from Ballybay. Good to see that as well. Local guys involved with the local team there. Sometimes that is a huge factor. So this title won first in 1999 by a club called Ivy Bosco from Down, last year from Monaghan, and in between 6 Monaghan wins and only 2 for Cavan. One of them last year. But as we found out yesterday, that doesn't necessarily mean anything. We had a Monaghan Cavan final yesterday, and Monaghan had won that title 14 times. Cavan had never won it. Who won yesterday? Cavan. So feel free to send me a few messages as we get ready for the start of the game, as the sun peeps out again. It's over to the left hand side as you are watching, and as you're also watching, you're noticing now that Knockbride are playing into the sunny side here in Enniskillen. Eddie Cuthbert about to get us underway, and as I said, I will keep an eye, I promise, on the messages, whatever's coming in online on Facebook and on YouTube. Emma Quinn says best of luck to St Brigid's, and if you're wondering, there's a bit of confusion about their name, I'll clarify that. It's St Brigid's and O'Neill's, so they call them Brigid O'Neill's, not St Brigid's O'Neill's, Brigid O'Neill's. That's the official name that they go under, so that's what I'll be calling them today. Big crowd watching on the YouTube there, so I'll keep an eye on messages coming in there with your thoughts on the game, or you can tell me where you're watching the game from. So 12:31, we are on schedule. Brewster Park, 2025 AIB Ulster Intermediate Championship Final, and off we go. And off Knockbride go chasing Brigid O'Neill's right away, because the girls in red and black won it from the throw-in, and they get it back to Roach Smith in number 7, and already a familiar pattern as we see in a lot of the games, even at junior. And the game yesterday, the team set up quite deep. If they lose the ball, they automatically retreat. This is Knockbride in the green, trying to come out with their number 10 Gia McCabe, bottled up in there, but manages to get it out to Ellen Lynch. This is Sarah McCabe, the captain, coming deep, surveying her options, And finds a little bit of pocket of space there. There was a little decoy run. Players just going with players. Not everybody rushing to the ball, which you sometimes see at junior level these days, but increasingly they're a lot more organised and structured than that. Looking for a run off the shoulder, gets it, but actually pops it to Gia McCabe, and that's a good run by her through the middle, running into traffic, but gets help off the shoulder from Katie Rogers, and that's a lovely ball through, and there's a goal chance there, and the keeper had to come out and had to be brave. Well, I guess you could say the forward had to be brave as well, and she hurt herself. And was it Abby Connor in there? Let's look at it again. It just opened up, never mind the congested defence. A run in behind, and they nearly found her. Might have been a little bit of a tug there, actually, with the number 2, Mary Quinn. But it's ended in Connor going down, and it looks like a painful one. She's holding her head around that area, thinking, of course, you have to hold the play up for that. And Eddie Cuthbert is going to his book here. I don't know if he's going to take anyone, or he's just making note that there's a head injury. Maybe that's what it is. But I don't think any fault of the defence or the goalkeeper there. They both just went for the ball. In fact, I think the goalkeeper hesitated a little bit in the first place and then came out. But could have been a score right away. Let's look at it once more, just have another check on it there. Yeah, she just got her boot to it first and then just ran into the goalkeeper. The goalkeeper didn't do anything wrong in terms of going into her. So it's going to be a free out, actually a free against Abby, even though she's the one who's injured, maybe for the foot being a little bit high, something like that. Goalkeeper usually gets those decisions anyway. Senior final on after this. AIB Senior Championship final double-header today. Intermediate and then senior. And it's Money Glass from Antrim against Errigal Kieran from Tyrone. 3 o'clock. So a bit of a gap between the games, maybe allowing for the possibility of extra time. Really looking forward to that one today. And one to watch, by the way, at midfield. There's a Shannon Cunningham at midfield for Errigal Kieran. And some of you maybe who are not too familiar with the team or the names, maybe watching in from outside Tyrone, maybe even watching from outside Ulster, will know the name Shannon Quinn. And that is Shannon Cunningham now, who would have played Ulster University, Tyrone, Errigal Kieran for many years. In fact, when they were in the final last in 2007 when they won it. I'm sure Shannon was around then. She'd have been at college around then. And she is still there at midfield, pulling the strings and an inspiration for the team. So one to watch there. Her father would be Podge Quinn, by the way, who was the Tyrone goal scorer in the 1986 All-Ireland final against Kerry. For a long, long time, he was the only Tyrone man who'd scored in an All-Ireland senior final from Errigal Kieran, until a few other lads from that club, a fella you might have heard of called Peter Cavan, came along. Now sadly, Abby Connor has had to go off the field right at the start of the Ulster final. That's very disappointing for her. And as I say earlier as well, girl with the same name, Abby Riley, the Cavan under-16 captain this year, got injured early in the championship, made a comeback and then got injured again. So the two Abbies, two young girls, very unlucky for them to be injured. She gets a round of applause, but her Ulster final looks to be over already, but our team are trying to score regardless. And it's the other corner forward, puts it over the bar. That's Rebecca Davey. Doesn't she remind you of the way that Lindsay Davey would put the ball over the bar as well? No big surprise about that, I guess. 1 point and no score after 4.5 minutes, but we haven't had much football in those 4.5 minutes. So Abby Connor has gone off in one corner. I'm just looking to see who has come on actually. Maybe they haven't actually got a sub on, I'm not quite sure, but they've won it back here, and it is Davey again. Maybe going to get another one. Oh, very unlucky. And it's going to come back for a free though. Looked like an easier one and looked certain to go over, but they'll probably get it from the free, you would imagine. Not sure who's going to take it, and I'm not sure they know who's going to take it either. Now they've got a player coming forward, and it's actually number 19 who's just come onto the field. So they brought on a sub, and she's taken the frees right away. And well, if you can do that, you may as well. Find out who that number 19 is for you, by the way. That would be an idea. Don't have a programme just to hand, but I'll get it for you in a second, I promise. This is Brigid O'Neill's trying to recover from going 2 points down, but they've been turned over again, and there's players over here, and there's a real goal opportunity here, and it should be a goal, and it's Davy, and she smashes it to the net from close range, and what a start it is. And it's all about the turnovers. The high press is working beautifully for Knockbride, and Rebecca Davy has got a goal and a point, and she hit the post as well, and that one laid on a plate by Katie Rogers. Perfect start for Knockbride from Cavan. The number 19, Ellie Riley. She's the very young girl, the baby of the squad. Would you believe they've won it a game? It is one-way traffic early on, and they're looking for another score. Aoife Nolte leaving it back to Sarah McCabe. And they go into traffic, and it gets congested in the traffic. Well, Brigid O'Neill's obviously a bit shell-shocked. They need to get the ball up the field, and they do, but I'm not sure that's going to do that one. Not quite. It's dug out by Ellen Lynch, the number 5, winning that one back for Knockbride, and they really are winning a lot of the exchanges and keeping the pressure on Brigid O'Neill's. Lots of good runs off the shoulder as well. This one from Niamh Smith coming on, and it's relentless at the minute. Brigid O'Neill's just need a break, but they can't get it. This is Ellie again. Match programme says she's only 14, but what fantastic skill from her, and what a sub to be able to bring on. She's come straight into the play without a problem, and took frees, and is showing there a few shapes and turns and twists there as if she's been playing for years. But you can't beat youth, and there's some great talent around the country, and there's a fantastic example. And she's taken another one. Oh, is that going to do? Yeah, just about over the bar. Well, what a start from her. She wasn't starting the game, came on after about 2 minutes, and she scored 2 points, and she's a hand in winning frees and getting involved and getting in there and turning it over for goals. 1-3 to no score, and not 8 minutes gone. It's probably a good idea to give the kick out short to make sure they get possession in, because they just need to get their hands on the ball, Brigid O'Neill's, to get up the field. Oh, but she's bottled up in there. She might be over carrying, but the referee says no. But still, guess what? It's one back again, and it's great work by Katie May Riley. This is Katie Rogers. Well, their tails are up, and look, they're getting players in behind all the time. And is she going to get another score? She is, of course. 3 points for the substitute. You didn't think you'd be saying that after just 8 minutes of the game, a sub coming in and getting 3 points. I don't think I've ever seen that happen before. And it's Ellie Riley, daughter of Peter in the management and sister of Katie May Riley, who was involved in that build-up as well. It's 1-4 to no score, and as I say, it's very worrying for Brigid O'Neill's that the opposition are getting in behind them all the time. It's maybe they need to have someone in there. Yesterday, Marion McGuinness for Cavan Gales played right in front of the goalkeeper, like a last line of defence in there before the goalkeeper, and was very, very effective. And that's kind of what you feel that Brigid O'Neill's need right now, because Knockbride are coming through again, and I think this is going to be a penalty. The way the referee is walking, we're in the tight shot. I'm watching the referee on the wide shot, and yep, he is awarded a penalty. Wow. What a start. Let's watch it again from our tight camera. And yep, there goes the challenge. No doubt about that. It is a penalty. Andrea Lear in goals for Brigid O'Neill's. And it looks like Sarah McCabe, the captain, is lining up to take it. Well, 1-4 is bad enough, but 2-4 would be 10-0. You'd think that maybe a player getting injured so early in the game might deflate a team, but they've actually looked inspired since then. Knockbride, and Ellie Riley has come on and has been sensational. Maybe it's nerves, I don't know, but Brigid's just cannot get going. But they need Andrea Lear to save this. It's Sarah McCabe against Andrea Lear. Knockbride to go 10 up early in the game. Oh, and she took that beautifully. She fooled the goalkeeper. Lovely little side foot into the corner, shaped as if she was going to go to the right of the goalkeeper, and then placed it beautifully right in the corner. There was no way you were ever going to save that. Watch this again. This is absolutely superb. Nice calm run up. Wow, perfect penalty. Absolutely superb. And it's 2-4 to no score. And Brigid O'Neill's, apart from I think the first 10 seconds of the game, they haven't really been over halfway. But I'm sure if they get going, they'll show us what they're made of. They just need to settle. They've been rocked early on. It's not as if there's any breeze or anything like that. Now here's a substitution, another substitution. Or is this a player coming back on? That looks like... Is it 19 going off again? Did they take Abby or Ellie off? Not quite sure what happened there. The announcements are over the far side. I didn't quite hear it or see the numbers go up. Maybe they did, but I'll pick that up in a second. But this is Erin Cassidy. But guess what? It's been turned over again. Every single player around the field for Knockbride is winning their individual battle. This is Davy well out the field. Gives it in. And why not? Look at the big space between the goalkeeper and the rest of the defence, and that's where Knockbride have been running into all of the time. This is Abby Connor. Well, Abby Connor back in the play. That's obviously what has happened. I was thinking that was maybe what had happened, but didn't want to say because I know she'd gone off injured. But great to see her back in the play. And this might go over from McCabe. Nope, they've missed one. There's a surprise. 12 minutes in. So that changed, just to clarify. Abby Connor went off injured. Ellie Riley came on, scored 2 points from frees and 1 from play, but she's now been replaced and Abby Connor has come back into the play. So that's great for Abby Connor, at least to see her come back in. And she might be saying, after getting a bit of an injury, what happened when I was away? It went kind of well. Abby Lear for Brigid O'Neill's gets it from the kick out. And obviously confidence is a bit low for Brigid O'Neill's, but that's better. And look, it's maybe not that difficult. They're popping it around now. This is Erin Cassidy. This is much better from Brigid O'Neill's, and they might get inside the 45. I think that's pretty much the first time in the game. Play down into the corner. Strange ball over to the side, but at least if they get possession, it won't matter. And they do. It's Lorna McGurk to Olivia McSkeen. And you often see teams who are rocked and low in confidence. They play balls that are maybe ill-advised, maybe 60-40 balls that maybe are easily intercepted, but this is much, much better. In fact, this has been about 12-13 passes, but now they've gone into traffic and they're not going to get a free for that. They are going to get a free. They didn't at first, but then at the second time of asking, is she looking to take it quickly? That's not a bad idea. I'm not sure if the referee's going to allow that, though. I think he's going to bring that one back, but at least it's a chance. As you see it again here, there's the first challenge, and maybe it was a second challenge come in. Maybe there was a bit of a tug there. It's a free in and a chance for Michaela McCabe to register for Brigid O'Neill's after 13.5 minutes. They've been blitzed so far, but there's one back, something for the Monaghan crowd to cheer about. Now the goalkeeper in the bib is Kitty Mulvey. Well, there was 2 runs over this side, but the ball didn't go to either of the Knockbride players. Instead, that's Molly Keenan, and she's going through with the ball. This is much better, and there's a goal on here. You see, just needed to be tapped into the net at the far post. It was a little bit ambitious. They just weren't quite in the right wavelength. As I was saying, it's maybe quite difficult, but you saw what she was trying to do, and Jane Drury, it just went over her head. But threatening, much better from the Monaghan girls. Kick out this time, just driven up the middle. But again, it's Brigid O'Neill's in the red with Erin Cassidy this time, and it's Michaela McCabe again. Their tails are up now, and that is much better, and it's inside the post. 2 points in a row for Brigid O'Neill's, and things looking and feeling much better now for them. Well, this has been an interesting start, hasn't it? Mulvey goes right this time. But again, it's Knockbride under it until the challenge comes in. Well, I say again, I suppose the last 2 were actually Brigid O'Neill's, but Knockbride won that one. Just checking on the YouTube, but I don't see any comments on there as yet. Abby Connor back in the play, we're glad to see, but goes down again. Tripped On Facebook, Deirdre Casey says best of luck St. Brigid's. That's Brigid O'Neill's. Oren Carlin is on. Sally McAvenny, best of luck to Brigid O'Neill's from fans in Mullingar. That's another free, a little bit closer. Sarah Regan says keep going Knockbride. They've done that. Carmel Lynch, go on Knockbride. Yeah, well, they've listened to you. Emma Quinn, best of luck to St. Brigid's. Those are messages on the Facebook and checking on the YouTube as well. Big audience on there watching the game. As Abby Connor puts it over the bar, and that's great to see after the young girl had to go off in the first few minutes of the game. Great to see her coming back into the play after a little bit of treatment. So 16 minutes in, she's in, and her team are winning 2-5 to 2 points. And after 2 points at the other end, they have got one back. Free though for Brigid O'Neill's. Tricky one for the management on the sideline in the first 10 minutes there. What do you do when it's one-way traffic? Just hope that it settles, and it has settled a bit. It's a good kick actually to Erin Cassidy. She was getting under pressure from the crowd. She was right over on the stand side there, and they were suggesting she was taking too long, but she got her pass away, and it was an important hand came in there actually from Katie Rogers from Knockbride, and another important hand from Ethan Nolte. But a foul, says the referee. Well, he's given advantage. Excuse me. This is Brigid O'Neill's with Lorna McGurk, and they are trying to get going, and they're getting a little bit of joy now, and they're getting it to Michaela McCabe, and that's an ambitious effort from there, and could end up in the net nearly, so nearly. And it was Jane Drury again getting in and around there, and they got it in behind the goalkeeper, but she just didn't get enough on it. You could say that she's had half chances for 2 goals up there. And if they get a goal back, it's anybody's game. That's the way these games can change. That's what makes them so exciting. You hear the crowd noise from our microphone over there, and there's a great crowd in the stand here in Brewster Park, and they're really invested in this game. It's a Monaghan Cavan derby, of course, so why wouldn't there be? Could have been a fear after 10 minutes that this could be very one-sided, but although it might look like that when you're coming in and looking at the scoreboard, but it doesn't feel like that at the minute. Brigid O'Neill's are threatening now that they've settled. By the way, the senior game at 3 o'clock Money Glass against Errigal Kieran. I'll be joined on commentary by the fabulous Fermanagh player Emer Smith. She's from the Derry Connolly Harps Club in Fermanagh, of course. They're bang on the head there, is it? That looks like an ice pack being applied by the physio. So a little bit of a break there. It gives me a chance to mention all of that management I was telling you about for Knockbride. Kieran Galligan, Terry McCabe, Grania Mulvey, Joanne Fitzgerald, Peter Riley, Ado Carroll, Ella Fitzgerald, Meg Holland, Carmel McCabe and Joanne McNally. There's a substitution again. I was looking down at my notes, and there was a change made there, was there? Don't see. Well, maybe it's the girl who was hurt there. No, she seems to be okay to play on. Or is she? Yeah, seems to be. Well, I'll keep an eye out for the numbers. Well, actually, there's a number 18 there for Knockbride, or for Brigid O'Neill's rather, is in the play. And number 18 would be Michaela Linden. So she's in the play for Brigid O'Neill's after 19 minutes. 2 hops, free out. Not sure who went off there, but Brigid O'Neill management, I was talking about them a minute ago, they've obviously decided to make a change. Now that has got through to the girl who has just come on, Michaela Linden. Now, can she be an impact sub? Well, she's won a free right away. That's a good start. Pops it down the line, but that looks a little bit tight along there, and indeed it's too close for comfort, and Knockbride in the green and red come up and get it to Davy, who's wearing 13 but playing well out the field. That's Neve Smith, number 7. Now they're away again, and they've got players through the middle as well. The captain is there, Sarah McCabe, looking for it and transfers it really nicely to Katie Rogers, and every time they go forward it looks like they've a goal threat. And there's Abby Connor, and this could be another penalty. No, referee says nothing doing there. Just saw the player go down from this distance, and in fact 2 of them are still down. They still might get a score out of it because they've got it back to Nolte in front of the post here. It should be, and it is another score for Knockbride. Could have been worse from a Brigid O'Neill's point of view. Could have been a goal. That threat there every time. Really good transfers, and it feels like it's almost a surprise to Brigid O'Neill's. There's the incident. That might have been a penalty. It's almost as if it's a surprise when the attack goes for them and they have to backtrack rather than having somebody sitting in there and minding the house. They very nearly get caught out on quite a few occasions and have been so far. But at the other end, Olivia McSkeen has it, but good challenge from Sinead O'Reilly to get in there and just get in and around and get a hand and spoil it and turn it over. Davy again. Instantly just pumps it into that full forward line where the number 13 would usually be. Instead it's Abby Connor battling with Mary Quinn. Mary wins out on this occasion. Famous name in ladies football. The All-Ireland Intermediate Cup is called the Mary Quinn Cup. I think she's from Leitrim, if I'm not mistaken, by the way, Mary Quinn. But this Mary Quinn very much from Monaghan. Good pressing from Knockbride. The referee right there and gives a free to Knockbride. Really have to admire Knockbride's tackling in close quarters, the way they turn it over when it looks like their opponents are on a bit of a run, or in close quarters when they press. They don't tend to foul too much and they get in and around. Very disciplined and obviously well coached. So 22 and a half minutes gone then. Only fair to mention the Brigid O'Neill's management in this break. Barney McCabe, Jerry West, Grace Conlon, Roy Rutledge, Leo Brennan, Ellie McConnon and Alicia Duffy. Just checking again on YouTube, but although there's a big crowd watching on there, nobody commenting. Nothing too much to say. Oh, here it is. It just popped up. I think I maybe needed to refresh. I was wondering. Owen Quinn says best of luck to some Brigids watching from Toronto. And this guy was on yesterday, our girl, named Funny. Bring it home, Brigid O'Neill's from Ferdia and the crew. Louise McCabe, could you say hello to Cara O'Reilly, who was due to play at half-time with her under-12 teammates from Knockbride, but unfortunately we're home as she is sick. Well, at least you can watch the live stream. Here comes Abby Connor, gives it a good dig. That's a dangerous one. They need to watch that, and they do, and watch it well. And they get their free out. It was the goalkeeper who did well there. I was trying to see who it was, and her jersey is actually very similar to the outfield jersey. I thought it was a defender, but it was a goalkeeper. And that's Andrea Lear. Oh, and that free is just put up in the air, but taken by Mary Quinn for her team. Gets it to Abby Lear, sister of Andrea, in goals. And here they go, now that they've broken through the first line, if you like. There's a chance here for an attack. Molly Keenan pumps it in there, but it's over the head of Drury. But Drury still does well to get it and might get a goal, or at least a point. She does get a point, and it was kind of more by luck than design, I have to say, all the way from the kick from the free. But they got there, they got their score, and Jane did well after being second best to that, but they just need to settle and get their passes a little bit more assured. Annie Benson says best wishes to Knockbride. Keep up the great play for Anne-Marie and Annie Benson. So there is support and comments online there for the teams. And again, they just pump it in there, Brigid O'Neill's, rather than work it in contrast to the way Knockbride play. Olivia McSkeen. Again, you see, they're just hoping. They put in 50-50 balls in there and hope it breaks for them. And it hasn't really been working too well for them so far. Look how measured that pass is out of defence to Grania Smith, for example. And Sarah McCabe willing to take it on the run. Close tackling by Abby Lear, but fouls. Davy immediately grabs the free and head up and puts it into that full forward line, but it gives the forward a bit better chance than the balls that are going in at the other end. It's a ball that's bouncing in front of the forward rather than a high ball, which is easier for the defenders. Brigid O'Neill's really just need to settle a little bit. That's a better ball coming out of defence. McSkeen is available, but runs into traffic, turned the wrong way into 2 players. And Knockbride get it again. We've less than 5 minutes to half time. It's been a pretty disastrous half for Brigid O'Neill's, and it might turn out to be even worse now because Katie Rogers is through. Oh, that was close. It's a wide. I thought there was maybe a touch on it there, but there must not have been. But once again, Knockbride have sliced through, and once again it is Davy, the supplier, and Rogers very nearly hitting the target, and a goal there. I was just about to say in the build-up to that Brigid O'Neill's need to get to half-time without conceding again, and they so nearly did, but they've survived there. They need to stay in this game. Now that kick-out is better. It's arrowed quite nicely to Tegan O'Neill, the under-16 player who's out there. She's got involved there. Abby Lear coming forward now. In terms of the second half and just morale, Brigid O'Neill's really need to get something here. This is Megan Miller, the captain, to Erin Cassidy. And it's all more individual than anything, but it might be good. Might be a score. It is a score. They sort of get there in the end. 4 points on the board. And they'll feel better about that. But I'm sure they can play a little bit better than this. If they can get to half-time, reorganise a little bit, maybe the second half will be different for them. But there's a kick out that has gone straight to Niamh Smith, but the referee was on hand and spotted a push. Megan Miller looking to take it quickly and plays it low, and she's arrowed that. You can see who she was looking for. It was Michaela McCabe again, but they weren't on the same wavelength, and that's kind of what I've been saying the last few minutes. Katie May Riley, so her baby sister coming on there and doing brilliantly in a 10-minute or so cameo. Her dad Peter only came into the management this year. What a year to come in. McCabe makes herself available, and there's a little knock off the ball. Referee either didn't see it or didn't see anything wrong. McCabe drills it down the line looking for Davy. She's now appeared in the right corner. She really is a live wire, appearing everywhere. Inside to Connor. Off goes Davy again. No need to force it, so just comes back out again. Keeps possession, gets it to Tara Rogers. Tara very improved this year. She wasn't even a starter last year in 2024, and she's nailed down a midfield place. That shows you what she's done this year, and that's maybe one of the reasons why they've done better this year. Katie Rogers. They lost the Cavan final last year to Mullahoran, and they've improved this year so much. Katie May Riley, good composed play again, but I guess you can be nice and composed when you're leading by 9 points, and the Brigid O'Neill's players are standing off you here as well. Maybe that's a wise thing to do for them, but they are getting cut open again, and McCabe has put over a super score. Well, it looked like Brigid O'Neill's were sitting off and trying to avoid the conceding a goal, but McCabe just jinked in between two of them and cut through and got a nice score and makes it 2-7 to a 3 in the last minute of the first half. Lear's kick out is good. In fact, there's 2 or 3 red jerseys around there. Nuala McGurk working it through the hands now, but can they get some joy here? This is Michaela Linden who came on as a sub. That's good pace from her, but where are the options? She gives it inside to Lorna McGurk, gets it back, and there's a goal chance here. She's on a one-on-one, puts it straight at the goalkeeper. Goalkeeper stood firm and did well, Kitty Mulvey. Well, they did so well to create that opening, Brigid O'Neill's, but the finish just wasn't there in the end. But a good effort. That would have livened things up going into half-time. We're now in added time. Abby Connor at the other end. Shrugs off Mary Quinn and gets her shot away, and it's gone out for a 45. Well, let's look at that at the other end again. She did all the hard work and then just needed to get it low. Easier said than done, especially at that angle. And credit to Mulvey and goals. Well, 2-7 to 1-4 would have been very interesting. As it is, it's 13-4. It's a 9-point game. And we will, of course, have quite a few minutes of added time because there was a big stoppage at the start. They take it short to Aoife Nolte. It's all a little bit subdued now. I think everybody's just waiting for half time. From distance, that's a decent effort. Just to the left, though, from Katie May Riley. Barry Campbell on Facebook says Knockbride from Abby Connor's relations in Stamullen and County Meath. And Phil Mitchell says, come on, St. Brigid's. As that kick out evades a few players, and a brave dive on the ball by Niamh Smith. But the decision's gone the other way. She must have touched it and rolled it on the ground. Megan Miller, the captain, will try to take it quickly and does, and that's a good one to Michaela McCabe, who showed in front, and that's a much better ball into the forwards. And now she looks to put a lovely ball over her shoulder because there's a terrific run there by Erin Cassidy. Can we get a goal right at the end of the half? She had a chance a minute ago, and this time she doesn't make a mistake at all. And arguably that was a more difficult one, but Michaela Linden came in as a sub, and she has thrown her club a lifeline in added time at the end of the first half of this AIB Ulster Intermediate final. A goal for Brigid O'Neill's. They've had a very, very difficult, traumatic first half, but they're ending it on a high. They've got it back to a 6-point game. Well, they have had a few chances there. I suppose it was inevitable that one of them would finish in the net, and it did, and it was instinct more than anything. She just turned and hit it. Davy puts it in there. Oh, and it's bounced over the defender, and there's a one-on-one at the other end, and it's Abby Connor. Oh, what a half she's had. She went off injured after a couple of minutes. We didn't think we'd see her again. Boy, we have seen her again. That's a screamer into the top of the net, and it was after a goal at the other end about 30 seconds before. And Knockbride are going in, and they've knocked the stuffing out of Brigid O'Neill's there right at the end of the half. What a cracker of a game. So many stories as well. Abby Connor, Lazarus-like. And we still go on. Erin Cassidy there, and then the goal scorer getting involved. There's me saying it got very interesting, and then a goal is fired in. Boy, did she finish it well. And it's that ball, I have to say, into the full forward line for Knockbride. There's been so much room in there, and they've had so much joy, and Brigid O'Neill's have been caught quite a few times. They were caught with a one-on-one there, and when there's a mistake, as there was, then you're in serious danger. I go back to Marion McGuinness yesterday. Anything came in near the goal, she was there guarding the goalkeeper, last line before the keeper, and guess what? There were no goals. I don't think there was even a sniff of a goal. Used all of her experience. Oh, and might be a goal. Oh, she was close. Was that Jane Drury again? I think it might have been. Well, she's come close now 3 times, getting a tap into the net. Big bandage on her right thigh, but she's moving well enough, and that wasn't too far away, you know. 4 minutes played into the 5th minute of added time, but as I say, there was a big gap at the start, a big break, and maybe it was one other one as well. Shorter one. So there's time for Niamh Smith to come away with it, and she does. This is Aoife Nolte. You see again the room at the back. They're backpedaling all the time when there's an attack, but it's not always a good way to be when a team's coming at you, especially when they've such good forwards, and they have good forwards, and that's going to be a free in and a chance to extend the lead. 3-7 is a big score for a first half. It could be 3 in. So it'll be 17-7. That would be a 10-point game, and it was back to 6 just a few minutes ago. On Facebook, Andrea Odlin, that is. Come on, Knockbride, she says. Colette Doherty, best of luck to St. Brigid's. Megan Miller, watching from Lanzarote. Andy, Colette and Sean. I wonder, is that going to be half time? It looks like it, going by the body language of the referee. He's not making his way out to the middle, and indeed he has blown already for half time. And what a half it's been. Wherever you're watching in the world, whether in Lanzarote or in Australia or wherever, it's certainly been interesting. Let's watch a little bit of the first half. They started on fire with this goal from Davy in the penalty. As nice as you'll ever see. Pick that out. And then at the other end, this is Aaron Cassidy getting it to the substitute Linden. And then, just seconds later, ball bouncing over the defence, and what a finish from Abby Connor. Came back into the play, and the sun has just come out very, very strongly here in Brewster Park, Enniskillen. I wonder will it stay for the second half and for the senior final as well. We're going to go off now for a little break, just after I checked last messages that have come in on YouTube. Conor Gorman, best of luck to Knockbride, particularly Katie, Nicola, Tara and Diane from their cousin Gina watching from Dublin. Breffney Smith says, come on Knockbride, keep it going. And the rest we have read already. So we'll take a break. We'll be back in 7 or 8 minutes. Keep her lit. That's the message from Sydney in Australia. Katie and Nicola from their brother Philip in Sydney. So a bit of support from down under, I guess. What time is it here now? 1:20, so it's after midnight, I'm sure, over there. And they're up watching the game. That's the beauty of the live streams. So those messages coming in on our live stream on YouTube. And we're also on Facebook. Half time. Brigid O'Neill's from Monaghan 1-4 in the red, but Knockbride 3-8-2 the good, and off they go again at the start of the second half, looking for another score, and that's Gia McCabe who left it off to Katie May Riley, to Davy, back out again to McCabe. They're motoring again right at the start of the second half. I guess the message at half time from the management would be put the foot on the accelerator here and try and finish this one off. If you can go at them in the first 10 minutes, you're already in a good lead and you'll put the game to bed, and that's what they're trying to do. But Brigid O'Neill's obviously just trying to stay in this one. Chance from a free for the first score of the second half. Then there's our tight low camera on Connor, but it's low. Needed to watch it. Could have been deflected into the net, but wasn't. Referee blows for an infringement there. They get the ball out to Abby Lear, and off goes Abby, and that's Olivia McSkeen, and they've got out. There's always a cheer when you sort of get out past the forwards into the midfield area. A little bit of room there. There's potential here. Number 17, I see, is on there receiving the ball now for Brigid O'Neill. So they've made a change at half time. They already made one with Michaela Linden coming in, and here is the number 17 again. And I will stop calling her number 17 when I just check my notes here. I didn't see her coming in there, but definitely is in the play, and I'll give her a shout now. Number 17 is Lauren Casey, and that's Michaela Linden, the other sub. Michaela McCabe's number 14 there. That's 18 involved there. That is Michaela Linden. 19 rather is Emer Quinn. Yeah, Emer Quinn seems to be on there now as well. So Emer Quinn 19, Lauren Casey 17 for Brigid O'Neill's. Maybe a few more subs as the half goes on, but obviously they realise they need to do something. Change things around a little bit. Knockbride get it again though. Don't see any changes for them as yet. Of course, they were forced into a couple early on, but everything has settled down very nicely for them since then. This is Sarah McCabe now, the captain, finding a load of room, always making herself available, carrying it forward, and again it's a red and black jerseys backtracking. When you're backtrack, you often get caught by a forward making a clever move, and that's what Rebecca Davey has done. Katie Rogers back to Davey, and here's McCabe, who started a lot of that but just slipped away from her grasp, and a chance for Knockbride. And in fact, that's a good kick. She spotted her teammate, the number 17 I mentioned, Lauren Casey, in a bit of room in the middle of the field, and she does well. Another, I was going to say another good kick pass, but just went beyond her. Sinead O'Reilly, and that's intercepted by McCabe, but good work by O'Reilly to keep possession for her team. Now that kick is anybody's, but McCabe does really well to get out in front of Lear, and is fouled. So the game picking up from the first half, really a pretty similar pattern. This is Connor to Davy. She just appears everywhere. She's omnipresent. Gives it out to Gia McCabe. Likewise, on that left foot, she adapted really well there, and that was one of those ones that could easily have dropped in and over the line, and actually the umpires are looking at each other. The one on the left-hand side was giving quite a stare to the other guys. They have to say, was that over? Did you see that? It was certainly close. And they're still looking at each other. But no goal given. Must have been very, very close, but not quite as we watch it again. Sorry, I've just seen the end of that. Maybe we'll get another look at that in a minute and I'll be able to judge it for myself. Or maybe you've seen it and you'll be able to leave a comment there on Facebook or YouTube. Didn't quite catch it myself. Although it probably not conclusive from our wide camera. As I said again, here it is, yeah. McCabe did well, and then this, don't think so, but I can't say from here. Katie Rogers, 14, but plays out around the middle, as does Gia McCabe. Twisting and turning, good play from her. She adapted so well to get her kick away that last time, and only had one hand on the ball, but did well. And that is Abby Connor getting her kick away, and the referee had blown. Is going to bring it back. Now this is the start that Knockbride wanted, just to put the pressure on Brigid O'Neill's, put them back in there, hem them back in, get a couple of points, and just kill any chance of a resurgence. First 5 minutes have been mainly Knockbride in command. 3-9 is 18, plays 7, so it's out to an 11-point game. It's going to take something special now. That's a good kick out though, Abby Lear from her sister Andrea. And now Abby pumps it right up the middle looking for McCabe. It was a good idea, but she just got in underneath it. Knockbride winning most of the exchanges, and of course, as I say that, Brigid O'Neill's get it, and it's Michaela McCabe. I got her mixed up at the other end a minute ago, I think. Sorry about that, but it was Michaela McCabe for Brigid O'Neill's, and they could do with a score here, and they've not just got a score, it's a really good one. And it's the number 18, Michaela Linden. Really well worked and well finished as well. That'll give them a wee bit of confidence. And a good reply, and again, not necessarily by design. There weren't a lot of passes involved in it. It was quite direct, but it worked. That's the important thing. Whereas Knockbride seemed to favour more controlled play, shall we say. And again, as I say that, they defy me. This is Lauren Casey. Oh, and it's opened up a little bit for her, but you know what? That was a right footer with a player coming in on her right that just put her off at the last minute. Katie Mulvey, the goalkeeper, in the bright pink bib. Not many options because there's a good press on here. So she goes long, but Megan Miller is there, the captain, reads it well for her team. Nearly stolen away, well, is stolen away, but illegally by Riley. We're going to have a substitution. I did predict there'd be one or two, but didn't think they'd be this quick, but there is one now, and it's for Knockbride. 18 for 2. So Grania Smith is going off. She's the number 2. Replaced by number 18, and that's Aoife Rogers. I think Aoife is only 15 years old according to the programme. I'm sure that's right, so giving youth its chance here. We've had a 14-year-old and a 15-year-old out there. I think that'll be a hop, and it is. Ashley McCabe has been on. Come on, St. Brigid's, you can do it. Bring the cup home. Jamie Hughes as well. Come on, St. Brigid's. Andrea on the other side of the fence with her message. 8.5 minutes in, and you feel like Knockbride are going to need another couple of points, really. Just keep it going, but if Brigid O'Neill's get a goal, it could turn interesting. They've turned into traffic, but they've got their free. 1 goal so far, and a few threats. But if they can make a breakthrough here, you never know, maybe they can mount a dramatic comeback, but at this stage it would be pretty dramatic, wouldn't it? Louise McCabe has mentioned the goal possible incident at the other end a few minutes ago. She said the umpire looked like he was going for the green flag. You know, I just saw him looking at the one on the left, looking at the other guys to say, did you see that? What did you think? You know, but look, they came to the decision, and they're right there. We'll go with them. Certainly would have killed this game completely, I think. Now that short, low kick out, A little bit dodgy, but they got away with it. And that's Sinead O'Reilly coming away now and getting it to Sarah McCabe. Always coming out around this area and delivering a good low ball in again to the forwards. And there is Sinead O'Reilly continuing her run. Abby Connor again. This is great from Knockbride. Really good play. And always sensible from McCabe. And that crossfield ball works beautifully as well. They get it to Katie Rogers. And Katie again does the right thing. Doesn't just kick it. Takes her time. Gets it to Gia McCabe. She was the one who hit the left-footed effort a minute ago. Davy comes across and helped. You see all the red and black jerseys just sitting in there. Not too much energy about them though. They've been pulled from side to side. And Knockbride look very lively, and it's always easy to look lively when you're 10-11 points up. But they are moving the ball really well and have been throughout the game. It's McCabe again, trying to get through, and is going to get her free. Referee spotted. Well, he's indicating exactly what he saw. It's a free in. I wonder will Brigid O'Neill's bring in the likes of Julia McGurk Duffy or Rachel McNally, some experience maybe? Or is it a day for the youth like Abby Connor, who puts it over the bar for Knockbride and stretches it out, and they're now in double figures for points. Andrea Lear, the goalkeeper. She's going to look for her sister again maybe. She is, you know. It's a Lear connection. And she gets it nicely, gets her free as well. Under pressure from Connor. Two Abbeys. That's an interesting kick over the top into space, but there's only a Knockbride player chasing back to get it. And Sinead O'Reilly again, running into traffic and getting her free. In fact, looks like there's going to be a tick for that challenge. That one hurt. As you see, I think it was actually Michaela McCabe's challenge, the second one, that hurt the most. I'm already being asked about the Player of the Match awards. It's a wee bit early, but if this game doesn't really change pattern, you could nearly pick it now after 42 minutes. I'd be interested in your contenders though. If you want to put a name there on your comments on YouTube or Facebook, feel free to do that. Knockbride, several contenders obviously. And that's Davy. Super work from her. Gives it to McCabe. That's a brilliant pass. The crowd rising to that. They appreciated that super little bit of play. Both of those players will definitely be contenders for Player of the Match. McCabe, the captain, directing the play as always, supplying the ball in to the dangerous forwards that they have. So McCabe will be a contender. Gia McCabe as well. Abby Connor would be an interesting choice after her eventful first half. And out the field, really good performances as well from the likes of Sinead O'Reilly and the two midfielders. So lots to choose from. Over carrying. Knockbride get it again, and they take it really quickly and get it in behind, and Abby Connor is in behind. Oh, brilliantly blocked though at the last minute. A diving challenge, and what's the referee given? It looks like he's walking towards the area where you usually give a penalty. No, he's going to go in to talk to his umpire here. I didn't see too much wrong there. But again, I just watched it the once. Now they only get the one view as well. Let's see what happened here. We're on a tight camera there. Then it was taken quickly, and you can see what comes in here. Is there any foul in there? Whoa, a hand goes in there. It wasn't the second one. I only saw the first or the second challenge, and he says no, not enough there for a penalty. And Brigid O'Neill survived. And credit, I'm not sure who the defender was there actually, but credit to the second player who got in there to make the block. I think they were concerned about the first hand that went in, but I think they came to the right decision in the end there. And it keeps the game interesting. 3-10 to 1-5 is 19-9, 10 points in it. A second penalty there and another goal would have put 13 in it. But while there's 16 minutes in it, there's still hope for Brigid O'Neill's. And interestingly, I'm looking off camera way up ahead. There's a huge area around the full forward area where there's nobody there. Now there's somebody coming into it, so they can get the ball in there. Maybe, if they get a goal, it could get interesting. few supporters alongside me shouting, take a chance. And it's getting to that stage where Brigid O'Neill's they are going to have to go for broke. Maybe put a ball in there and hope for a knock into the goals, or is she going for a point? Well, she struck that very high and very true, but it's gone to the right and it's gone wide. Very unlucky. Must have been very, very close. But they need every one of those to go over. Mulvey then. Megan Miller, I think that is underneath that, takes it really brilliantly for her team. But they don't knit together again. And the good work in winning the ball is wasted. They get out in front though to get this one. I think that's Jane Drury all the way back there, wasn't it? No, it wasn't. It was the 19. It was Emer Quinn. But again, they get possession and they lose it so quickly. Maybe just trying to force things, a little bit anxious, which is understandable when you're behind and you want to make something happen. Sub coming on again, and this time it is for Brigid O'Neill's. I think it's 23 for 9. 23 would be, well, I did mention it a minute ago, Julie McGurk Duffy bringing on a bit of experience. She's coming in for Olivia McSkeen, and maybe this is going for broke because they're putting her right into that full forward area. She has gone right over to the left corner. 14 has gone off there as well, did she? Just saw a shot of her there at the last minute. That would be Kitty Rogers. Did she go off? Missed that one. I'll just try and follow the play and pick up who came on for her in a second. That's Erin Cassidy, number 12. But Knockbride steal it away, and they have a player over here, and there's a chance here of another goal which would put the game to bed. Number 19, Emer Quinn involved, the substitute. They have players over. Abby Connor, oh, flashes it across the goal and wide. Desperate defending. That was it Mary Quinn who got across? I thought she was substituted. I thought I saw number 2 there. Let me see, it can't be number 2, is it? She took a blow there as well. Maybe it's 12. Anyway, it was a good block and did enough to, well, she mightn't have got a block in, but she did enough to put the player off, I think. Otherwise it might have ended up in the net. So 47 minutes gone then. On Facebook, Catherine McElwain, come on Knockbride. Carmel Lynch says good steady play by Knockbride. Rosie Clark enjoying it as well. And why wouldn't they be? They're starting to make announcements about the end of the match arrangements. There's a 23 in the shot. That's a girl who came on. Julie McGurk stroke Duffy now. One of the older players on the panel, but not that old. See if she can spark a bit of a revival. We will be staying on the live stream for the presentation of the Person of the Match award, and the cup presentation as well, over in the stand on the far side. And that player of the match, I'll need to select that in the next few minutes actually. I'm thinking Sarah McCabe, the captain. It's hard to go past her. What do you think? Rebecca Davey, maybe. It's between those two, the way they've played. But by all means, leave a name in the comments there. See what you think. Got a few minutes to think about it now that we have a break here. It was courageous play, wasn't it? And she got hurt in being courageous. So a reminder, the senior final on after this. I say on after, there'll be a break and then we'll start another stream. So that game will be at 3 o'clock. There's a vote for Rebecca Davey from Lisa Reagan. Thanks for that, Lisa. So 1 vote for Rebecca. And she has had a good game and she's been involved in everything and got the first goal. And Sarah McCabe has directed a lot of the play and made herself available. A lot of good ball into the forwards and knitted everything together. guess the two of them have been in pretty similar roles in many ways. So yeah, later on, Monaghan against Enniskillen Cavan. We've been so used to down the years Donaghmoyne dominating Ulster for so many years. And in the last few years we've had Clan 2 in a row, going for 3 in a row. Monaghan beat them. Very interesting defensive setup. And they have had Maxie Curran, the former Donegal manager, in there, bringing his experience, shall we say, from being involved with Donegal. He got a few big wins over Dublin a few years ago from being very defensive and relying on a couple of outstanding forwards that he had at his disposal, and that's what they did against Clan. Got a couple of goals, and in the second half they shut up shop. The score in the second half at Clan was Clan 1 point, Monaghan 2 points. So you can see what they did there. So they will come to this today, but a different game. Enniskillen Cavan won it in 2007. Good, fast, fit, exciting running team who won away to Glenfin in the quarterfinals and against Lurgan in the semi-finals by a point. Monaghan will go in as favourites. That one coming up at 3 o'clock. Monaghan in the final a couple of years ago. They lost to Donaghmoyne the last time Donaghmoyne won it up in Owenbeg. 24 coming on for 2 then. So it was the number 2. It was Mary Quinn. And she's coming off. 24 would be Sarah Macklin. They've announced the substitution here, even though she's still on the field. 24 has come in. They're bringing a stretcher over now. Sarah Regan says between Rebecca Davey for player of the match and Abby Connor. Yeah, I did mention her. She says, but all the girls are playing a smashing match. Yeah, of course, this is true. Dean Davey says Rebecca Davey, no bias at all, keep it going, Knockbride. Brian Gallagher enjoying the coverage. Goes for number 15, the main difference between the teams, Abby Connor. That'd be an interesting one to give it to, considered she went off injured and came back on. Elaine Costin says Sarah McCabe, fantastic game. Thank you very much for your contributions. Michelle Moffat says, come on, Brigid O'Neill's. Doesn't really make it any clearer because everybody's going for different players, but that's the nature of it. Connor Gorman says Gia McCabe. Alan Carolyn says Rebecca Davey. Peter McKenna, Rebecca Davey for scoring, work rate and playmaking has been incredible, and Shane Carolyn as well for Rebecca Davey. It must become clearer now. Rebecca Davey, I think, getting the most votes there, and to be honest, I have been leaning towards her the last few minutes as well. Thinking about it, the difference that she made in the first half in particular, and always clever play, really good on the ball. But can you give player of the match to a dub in the Ulster Championship final? Just throwing that out there for the crack. Yesterday with an Armagh girl, and they're running for player of the match for Cavan Gales. So why not? Every club needs a blow-in. Right, we can get back underway, and obviously we're going to have quite a bit of stoppage time added on at the end. Good patient play there by the goalkeeper, Andrea Lear, waiting for her fullback, Aideen Drury, to get into space and get possession, get going again. I'm sure the stoppage won't have helped them at all, unless they've been able to sort of rally themselves a little bit. But more than that, they'll need a score or two here. That's the sort of thing that would get them going. But can they? Well, that one's gone away from Erin Cassidy. She's batting hard to get it back, but it's just not flowing for Brigid O'Neill's today. And indeed, I think that decision's gone against them, or is it going to be a hop? You see the officials communicating. And yeah, she's making it clear. It's a Brigid O'Neill's ball. Anya Murphy on the line. Roseanne Haughey as well. Donegal and Fermanagh represented in the lines persons today. Free for Knockbride. It's all a little bit scrappy, and it doesn't really suit Brigid O'Neill's at all. They just haven't been able to build up any momentum. I want to see the up close shot now. I see the resemblance with Lindsay. And they also both play pretty well. There's that ice pack again. It's been overused today. Ouch. So 5 to go, and probably another 5 after that, I'd say. And Brigid O'Neill's got that goal right at the end of the first half in added time, but in the second half they've only added, is it 1 or 2 points maybe? Rebecca okay to continue. And we will get going again. Looking for McCabe, I think that is, or is it Connor? It was McCabe, unable to keep it in. That's the sub has just come in. Macklin, number 24 for Brigid O'Neill's. They've worked this well. No point going down the middle really. So they go down the sides a little bit. Green jerseys trying to come back, and there's a ball over the top looking again for McCabe, and they've tried that a few times, and either they've overhit it or she's just come in under it. It just hasn't quite worked. She's the target. And Knockbride come away with it rather easily. Ellen Lynch, number 5 for Knockbride in there. And again, it's got scrappy. Hot ball again. McCabe does well, but it's a Knockbride player. Almost inevitably there. Smartest and fastest to the ball and bursting away. This is terrific play. I think it's McCabe, is it? It's Gia McCabe maybe. Feeds it nicely to Aoife Nulty. Great play. And this is Sarah McCabe, always making herself available, and feeds a sensible ball back to Nulty. And then it breaks down. It's good play by Gia McCabe, making herself available and just gets it inside the post. Nice score. And if that's Gia McCabe, and it was, she's very good off the left and right. 2 McCabe's in the shot. Lear gets it from her sister, tries to get her team going again. It's getting a bit late though. 11-point game. And no joy once again, because Knockbride get it back to Amy Lynch, the number 3. Ellen Lynch, her sister, and it breaks down for them. Brigid O'Neill's with Emer Quinn, and Julie McGurk Duffy was involved there as well, another of the subs. So they've 5 subs on. Call has gone up for stewards to get to end of match positions, but I think they do that when there's 2 minutes of normal time to go, but I think they can rest easy. There's going to be another, I'd say 7 minutes to go, maybe more. Knockbride still full of running. That's McCabe again. Brilliant work by Gia McCabe. Off she goes, and there could be a goal here if she gets it across. Well, goes for her own effort and puts it wide to the right hand side, but it matters not. Good run. This game petering out, it has to be said. There's another change coming in, 20 for 18, and that is for Brigid O'Neill's again. 20 is Kit Brennan, and she is coming in for Michaela Linden, who came on in the first half and featured really well, it has to be said, but pulled ashore coming to the end of the game. A lot of luminous colour in there. Emer Quinn for Brigid O'Neill's gets it to another sub, Lauren Casey. They'll be very disappointed, Brigid O'Neill's today, but I guess they lost it in the first 10 minutes when you think about it. They were 10 down and there's 11 in it now. Never really recovered from that start. Good run by the substitute. Still going. Gets to Gia McCabe, of course. Zifa Rogers with the run. Oh, that's a good ball to the corner forward. Abby, and of course she finishes it. Well, Knockbride would be delighted she can back into the play. The two Abbeys have a big impact. Or rather, Abby and Ellie. I'm getting mixed up with Ellie, who came in. She was the one who came in for the cameo to replace her and got the 3 points. And then Abby came back in and she's been first class. We're now on added time, and there will be quite a bit of added time, I think. More thoughts on player of the match. Sarah McCabe, Rebecca Davey and Gia McCabe have led from the front today, says Francis Clark. Great team performance. Yep. Knockbride win it again at the back. But his player of the match is Sarah McCabe for her tireless work rate and link play. Stephen says Davey for player of the match. She's been everywhere. Just going to check on Facebook here, but let's follow the play here because Abby has it again. Abby Connor, she's a contender. Finishes to the net and you might get it. Well, she puts it over the bar anyway. That's 2 points for her in a minute. We're going to have another change here. We are 17 for 12 for Knockbride. 17 is Deanne Donohoe. For 12, that's Aoife Nulty. Abby Connor coming back to challenge. Erin Cassidy battling her way through. She was fouled but kept going. Good strong play by her. Puts an interesting ball into the middle. You see what she was trying to do, but intercepted for Knockbride. 62nd minute, nearly in the 63rd. This is McCabe again. She does love to run with the ball. Leaves it off. And a clear foul. They just haven't been able to hold them at all, have they? That was Ellie Riley, by the way. She came back into the play after her cameo at the start. Good to see her involved again. Don't know what that announcement was about, but some derision from the crowd. Whatever it was, but some humour as well, I think. 63rd minute then. 3:13 might become 3:14. No, that's a little bit low. I think it might end up being deflected into the net, but they watched it well. The goalkeeper's able to come away with it. Just sending through my vote now for player of the match. Have to do it now. Can't delay it any longer. And I'm going to let you into a secret since you're watching on the live stream. I'll tell you who it is after we follow the play here. People on the ground won't know. The decision has been made and the presentation will be made in about 5 or 6 minutes time, I would imagine, over on the far side, so people here won't know. And let's put it like this, they've come back and said, do I mean Knockbride? Well, yeah, didn't think I needed to say that. But yes, Knockbride. But what number you're thinking? And you know what? I've thought about it a lot, and I'm going to give it to 15. I'm going to give it to Abby Connor. And the reason is, and I do take all your points on board about superb performances by the likes of Sarah McCabe, Gia McCabe, Rebecca Davey, but Abby Connor, when you think about it, she got injured in the first minute, had to go off for 10 minutes. Came back in, showed tremendous character. She scored a fantastic goal right at the end of the half. After Brigid O'Neill's got back into it, she finished it brilliantly. She was involved in so much play all through the game, and she's kept going. You saw her a minute ago coming back and trying to tackle, coming back out of her forward area to help out. And she scored a couple of great points a few minutes ago from a couple of different angles on either side of the pitch, and she just is a wonderful story, I think, today as well. Maybe I'm looking at it journalistically, the way that she got injured and we thought her game was over, and she's come back in, and it's a dream final for her, and she's been so good since she come back in, and there's another substitute coming back in. So those are my reasons. As I say, I wouldn't have argued, or if either of the other girls had got it as well, but that's who I'm going for. Number 7 going off, that's Neve Smith, and getting a big round of applause. Her sister went off as well, and the winning crowd, I think we can call them now, in winning management, enjoying that one. And they've sent in 21, that's Leanne O'Reilly. She can say she played in the Ulster final. So 22 to 9, you can't argue. It's been convincing. It was convincing yesterday as well for the Cavan team over Monaghan, and there is the final whistle. It's 2 in a row, a junior and intermediate for 2025 in the AIB Ulster finals. Cavan Gales yesterday, Knockbride today. It's 2 in a row for Cavan over Monaghan as well, and they've both won in very convincing style. Pretty similar scorelines, if I remember, from yesterday as well. It's Knockbride from Cavan, AIB 2025 Ulster Intermediate Champions, and it's 2 in a row for Cavan. It was Monaghan last year. They beat Knockbride in the final in Cavan. They've come back. They said they'd learned a lot from watching Monaghan's journey through Ulster, and boy did they make that tell today. They were in the final 12 years ago, or in Ulster 12 years ago, and now they're back, and now they've won it. Lots of sisters, lots of first cousins as well there, and they played like a family, along with a dub in the area as well. Rebecca Davey came into the area, and she played a major part in the game as well, and a terrific performance. Abby Connor, for me, player of the match. And I'd like to mention as well the other Abby. That's who I was thinking the other Abby was. Abby Riley, Cavan under-16 captain, had a couple of injuries this year, and they mentioned her at all times, and she wasn't able to be involved today, but very much a part of the up-and-coming players from this club, and they've done so well. As I say, Tara Rogers in midfield didn't start in 2024. They went back and improved this year, and they have really made it pay, and they had a big management team in there as well, 10 of them. But it worked, and Peter Riley came in this year. He must have been the missing link, or at least he could claim to be, but they said the rest of the management stuck with them over 4 or 5 years, and it's come good. Knockbride the champions. Lovely shots from our camera out in the middle of the pitch there of the celebrations for Knockbride, and with great shots, if you remember last year from Monaghan when they did this and then ran over to the stand. There were fabulous shots. They will be going over to the stand to collect the Player of the Match award, and then the cup as well from Jerry Doherty, the Ulster LGFA president, shortly. And commiserations to Brigid O'Neill's from 3 clubs: Ballybay, Drumhowan and Duhamlet. And they just were rocked in the first 10 minutes, weren't they? And they just weren't able to recover. 10 points down. Messages flying in now on the YouTube. Philip Rogers voted for Gia for Player of the Match. 1 or 2 for Davey as well. Well, I'm sticking by it. I'm going with Abby Connor. There's a lovely shot. Isn't that brilliant? That's cute. That was Tara Rogers. Now Jerry Doherty is asking over the tannoy for everyone to come over for the presentation. That's Aoife Rogers now taking over and lifting that child. Just checking on Facebook for 1 or 2 last messages. Carmel Lynch says congratulations Knockbride. Kieran Smith, great coverage as always. Thank you, Kieran. Elaine Costin, Knockbride, LGFA club, 3 Ulster Cups, 1 unbelievable history. Yeah, so about 20 years ago did they win this. It was a Knockbridge, it said. I think that was maybe a spelling mistake, so maybe they won it before. Sarah Regan between Rebecca and Abby, but all the girls had a great game. And there are those shots I was talking about, which Kieran is on hand to get for us. Lovely shots up close of the friends, family, supporters of Knockbride acknowledging a fantastic performance. I don't know if we're going to pick up the speeches too well here on the tannoy, so we might have to. Oh, lovely shot again. That's Kitty May Riley, her sister Ellie, came on and did so well at 14 years of old, and Dad Peter in the management. A real family affair there. I'll maybe try and relay what Jerry is saying, but you'll get the gist of it.
On the display today. A special word of thanks also goes to our officials, referee, fourth official, umpires, lines person, and all the people who helped to put on our match today. You'll all agree they have done a magnificent job. At this point, I'd like to thank my colleagues in the Ulster Council, our field officials and our volunteers who turned up here today to make this the occasion that it is. A special word of thanks is also due to our sponsors, AIB, who support us, and their finance is greatly appreciated. And now we come to the presentations, and before we have the actual presentation of the trophy, Ulster Council award a trophy to the player of the match, the most valuable player on the day, and that award goes to the Knockbride number 15.
We'll do all the photos.
Here we go, Jerry. One more, please. Sorry. Thank you.
Now just go to the rail and look down there.
All good.
Yeah, that's it. Thanks a minute. Will I be quick on this one?
The captain of the Knockbride team, Jerome Quinn.
Perfect.
Can I get the salsa, please?
Sure, yeah, sure.
Thank you.
You want to step forward and hold it up?
First of all, I'd just like to say thank you very much to all the refs and officials and the Ulster Council for a brilliant Ulster campaign. We've had an absolute ball and you just ran an excellent competition, so big cheers for all the refs and officials that make Ulster such a great... To our own club, I'd like to thank our management team, Kieran Galligan, Terry McCabe, Dad, Peter Riley, Ado, Joanne, Grania, everyone that's with us all the way. We can't thank you enough for everything you've done for us this year. To our committee, for everything you do for us. We've wanted for absolutely nothing. To all the mammies that fed the girls coming in from Dublin. The whole community got behind us. To our sponsors, first of all I'd like to thank everyone that got behind our Road to Ulster campaign. We raised a serious bit of money and we're so grateful for all the support you've shown us. To our main sponsors, McCabe Feeds, the club would be nothing without you. To Canning Sound, to Kilcross Construction, DOR Electrical and PV Panels, Larry Riley Construction, we can't thank you all enough. To Brigid, who's had a fantastic game today, you should be really proud of the Ulster campaign you've had. You're an absolutely fantastic team and it was a fantastic game, so round of applause for Brigid. I can't say enough thanks to our own club and our own community, especially all the younger supporters that come out here today and travel to all of our Ulster games. Thank you so much for getting behind us the whole way. And lastly, just thank you so much to all the girls for the work you put in this year. And this is the fruits of your labour, so well done girls, so proud of you all.
So congratulations to Knockbride. We're just about to leave it there because we have another game here. The main event, no harm to these girls, but the senior final is coming up at 3 o'clock. We'll be on a live stream on that one, on another stream, a separate stream to this, but in the same places. So you'll be able to watch Money Glass from Antrim against Errigal Kieran from Tyrone. Another lovely shot at the end there by Kieran in the middle of it all. Bringing home the family link again. Just checking your last messages before we go, and they're coming in from all around the world. Congratulations for Knockbride from Cavan, from the likes of Raymond O'Brien in Sydney and Breffney Smith, great name, in New York. It's cool here now. The sun has gone in, it's got cold, and it's maybe a good thing. It's keeping me awake after being at the All-Stars last night in Dublin, and I need to stay awake because we have a senior final coming up, and Emer Smith's going to join me and help me, the Fermanagh star, so she's going to come in and do co-commentary with me for the senior gamer camera. Trying to get everybody in, but it's a big family there, isn't it, from Knockbride. Sarah in the middle with a cup, and the management to the right and maybe to the left of that shot as well. Just checking one or two last messages there. Yeah, there's a nice comment from Carmel Lynch. Well done to Abby Connor for getting the Player of the Match award, but you know, it's all about the team and it's all about winning that cup. They were all brilliant individually and as a team today, and won it comprehensively and with some fabulous football. They really were very impressive, Knockbride, as they now go into the All-Ireland series. So well done to them. That's 2 out of 2 for Cavan against Monaghan. Next it's Antrim against Tyrone in the senior final. We'll be back on another stream, but for now we hope you have enjoyed the coverage of this AIB Intermediate Championship final.